Alright, since I kind of had a retraction of...
Gail Davis was at the concert when the shooting started. She joins us now from Las Vegas. Gail, I can't imagine how you are feeling at this second. I'm so glad that you can join us right now. What can you tell us about what you saw, what happened?
I don't think that she was the same
Oh,
person
well, it
anymore,
was kind of just shocking what, you know, you don't expect something like this. We went there to see Jason Aldean, really. It was a 3-day show, and we went there to see Jason. He's my favorite singer, and we got there, and we were standing like maybe halfway up, and just waiting for him to come on stage. He came on, and about 20 to 10, and we were just listening to him. He sang about 5 songs, and all of a sudden we just heard like 3 or 4 little pop, 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 and everybody kind of looked around and said, oh, it's just firecrackers. And then we heard pop, 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 and it just kept going and going, and my husband said, that's not firecrackers, that sounds like a semi-automatic rifle. And then everybody started screaming and started to run, and I looked over to my right where this girl had been standing right beside me, and she had fallen, and first she stood there and she grabbed her stomach, and she looked at her hands are all bloody, and then she was wearing like a little crop top and, you know, blue jean shorts and cowboy boots, and she looked at her hands are bloody, and she just kind of screamed, and she just fell back, and then everybody started yelling, and there were some guys there, and we just started.
That was cute.
Cowboy boots, and she looked at her hands are bloody, and she just kind of screamed, and she just fell back, and then everybody started yelling, and there were some guys there, and we just started jumping up and down like waving for help, and then all of a sudden we just heard a whole bunch of shots fired, and people started running, and so my husband said, get down, and so we bent down, and everybody was just running just straight up, and you could see people getting shot and people falling, and then my husband said, Gail, we gotta go, we gotta get out of here, we're gonna get shot. And so we started running, and there was the little, I don't know where the concession stands are, and little cubicle kind of things of tents, and we started to run, and a Metro officer who I owe my life to grabbed us, and he said, come here, get in here. So we went running inside, and the lights were on, and everything else was dark. They turned the stage lights off and everything, and we went running in there, and he said, get down, and so we got down, and I was there, my husband was in front of me, and there was another 2 ladies behind us, and the officer actually covered me up to protect me from being shot because I couldn't get out all the way, and it was like you could hear the shots just like going back and forth and ricocheting, and then they would stop, and then we thought, okay, it's over, and then it would start again, and this happened a couple times, and the officer stood up, and I heard on his radio say, we have active shooters, and I heard him say, oh God, and then he walked out to look around, and he had his gun out, and he was looking around, and then it started shooting again, and he came running back in, and covered. And the officer stood up, and I heard on his radio say, we have active shooters, and I heard him say, oh God, and then he walked out to look around, and he had his gun out, and he was looking around, and then it started shooting again, and he came running back in, and covered me up again, and then the shooting just would stop, like he or she, whoever was refilling or whatever you call it, reloading, and then he said, we need to get out of here. We got to get you out of here. So we went to another little tent and stood in there, or we laid down in there. And again, that officer was with me. He was like my guardian angel. He never left me. And we could hear the shots getting closer, it seemed. And my husband got hit like with some shrapnel, and he goes, Gail, I think I got some of the, I don't know what you call it, lead or something. And he goes, feel how hot it is. And he put it on my arm, and we kind of waited, and then I think I got some, the shots getting closer, it seemed. And my husband got hit like with some shrapnel, and he goes, Gail, I think I got some of the, I don't know what you call it, lead or something. And he goes, feel how hot it is. And he put it on my arm. And we kind of waited. And then the shooting kind of stopped because it kept stopping, like they were refilling or something, or reloading. And so then the officer said, we need to get you out of here. You got to get out of here, but stay low. So we went to get out the back, and we couldn't get out because there was like a door or something. So we pushed it down. He pushed it down first, and we ran out. And he said, stay out of the light. Just run, and keep down. And as we're running, there's people laying everywhere. People were bleeding. One guy was holding his girlfriend or wife or woman, and he was crying and saying, "Oh God, baby, I'm so sorry. It's my fault." And I think she had been shot in the head because he was just covered with blood. And we ran, and there was just ambulances and police cars everywhere. It was
Gail,
heartbreaking.
you were painting
unreal.
You were painting an incredible story. I am so sorry. We're all sorry that you had to go through something like this.
Thank you.
It sounds absolutely terrifying. How long did this shooting seem to last to you?
Well, it seemed like a long time, but maybe only 10 minutes it seemed. Maybe 15 minutes. It seemed forever, but then again, it was like so fast. Your mind plays tricks on you, and it's hard to say, but it was I've never been that scared in my life.
Gail, how many
my life ever.
people were in the area where you were watching?
A long time, 10 minutes.
Oh, it was packed. It was packed because, Jason Aldean is just like the #1 singer, and everybody, he was the last singer for the venue and for the show, and so everybody was there having a good time. It was packed. I don't know, thousands. It was just packed, everywhere.
And Gail, where's the officer who helped you? Do you know where he is now?
No, I saw his face, and I'm going to try to go down to Metro and see if I can find him and look at his pictures, because he saved me. I know, because the girl that got shot was right next to me. I don't know. I wish I can find him. I'm going to try to find him and tell him thank you.
Of course, that police officer
did amazing.
That police officer, like you said, a guardian angel for you and your husband there. Can you describe the rest of the scene, though, in terms of security? How quickly did you see first responders run towards the scene and start helping the wounded?
Almost immediately. Metro was there. They're always right there.
Think about that. Perfect scene for me to pause it on. She said that Metro and first responders were there almost immediately. Okay.
Just such an amazing police force, and they were right there. Ambulances were coming. We had ambulances everywhere. There were police cars everywhere, and the police officers were helping. The other concert goers were helping everybody. It was just amazing. We all came together, and everybody.
I lived in Vegas. I know how long it takes to get an ambulance to the Strip, let alone how many they say they had, like some ungodly amount. They're only a handful, but they said I don't know, I hope to find a clip, maybe even make a video about it. I don't really care. I'm only making this for fun. So, I outwalked an ambulance one time walking down Flamingo to the Strip. I had to listen to the sirens behind me the whole time because it couldn't get through traffic. Alright. Sunday night. Yeah, traffic's still pretty shitty. Yeah. I think, and wasn't it like a holiday Monday? So, right, wasn't it Columbus Day? Yeah. Wait, this is last week. This is this week. Strike that. That was, yeah, that's what happens when you don't really pay attention to your holidays. So yeah, Sunday night on a normal weekend then. Still backed.
Helping everybody. It was wonderful to see, and I just love Metro. I'm just so proud of them.
Yeah, a lot of people are giving big kudos to the Las Vegas Police Department. It would not apparently have made a difference in this particular shooting, but did you have to go through any sort of security device when you went into the concert today?
No, well, yeah, when you walk through, they look at your, I didn't have anything because I don't carry anything. I have my chapstick, but no, they'll look at your backpacks and stuff, but it was secure. It's very secure. And my husband saw the shots from Mandalay Bay. They were like a little bit above halfway, a little bit higher up. And he could actually see like lights flashing, like. And then they said that he saw this where the shooter was.
Yeah, you know,
so, yeah.
I can tell, and I know this is traumatic. I'm sure that you were still in quite a bit of shock. But have you been able to wrap your brain around that you went to a Jason Aldean concert of all things, and this happened to you? This seems like a terrible movie.
I know. I mean, I saw Jason San Bernardino last year, and he's just amazing. And my husband kind of surprised me, and because we didn't go the first 2 days, and then he said, "Well, let's go see Jason," and he got his tickets and the little wristbands, and it was a wonderful surprise. And to have this happen, it's I just can't wrap my mind around it, like you said.
And Jason,
it's just hard.
Jason posted a Facebook message to all of those fans like yourself who were there to see him, and we spoke with another performer who was on stage right before him, Jake Owen, who said that he had seen children in the crowds as well, sitting on their parents' shoulders. Did you get a sense of how many children were at the concert? We know it was around 10 p.m., but clearly there are music fans in all ages, and parents do bring them to these kind of concerts.
Yeah, Jason's just a great all-around singer, and he's such a good guy. And he has 2 daughters himself, and Brittany's his wife expecting a baby in a couple months. And he's so wholesome. Everybody loves him, and there were kids there. And I remember one lady was just screaming, and she's going, "I can't find my daughter! I can't find my daughter!" And I don't know if she found her, or she made it, or anything. It was just like chaos. It was just crazy.
Gail, when we talked to Jake Owen earlier today, he said that he hopes that people will still continue, that he's going to get back on stage and perform. He hopes that anyone who was at the concert will continue to do so, that we won't let a coward, as he says, change our way of life. How are you feeling about that?
Oh, no, I'll still go. Of course I'll go. I think I'll be a little more on guard. Mm-hmm. But you can't foresee something like this. You can't expect this. But, I'll go again. I'm sure we all love all our country artists, and we're all going to go again. We support them. We love them. Especially Jason.
Well, Gail, that police officer was a hero, and it sounds like your husband was a hero as well for having a peace of mind to recognize that those weren't firecrackers, that they were in fact gunshots. We wish him the best in his recovery from the shrapnel wounds. Gail, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All the way through. I don't buy it. I almost want to click on that one down there. You guys know which one I'm looking at. Law student nearly paralyzed, and I haven't watched this one. Here, how long has this video gone? Let's go bonus round. 12 minutes. All right.
More than 500 people were injured in Sunday's massacre. About 1/4 of them are still hospitalized. Kristen Babbitt was wounded as the crowd of 22,000 people began running in terror. After being shot in the back and nearly becoming paralyzed, Kristen Babbitt says she's just thankful to have survived. She told us Sunday night's show began like any other concert.
I couldn't believe at the time that was a gun, and I didn't want to.
Disbelief is how Kristen Babbitt describes the moment she heard the first spray of gunfire on Sunday.
There was even some people who were yelling, don't worry, it's nothing." Second time came around, more people started to realize what it was. And after the third time, we knew.
A bullet struck the 24-year-old in the back, coming very close to her spine. Your friend said it was almost like you felt like a water balloon hit you.
I said that because after...
Pause for effect here real quick. What's wrong with this scene? See that... see the hose connected to her arm? Like, there's no IV hooked up. There's a bandage on her arm, but there's no IV hooked up. Like, she's got the sensor on her finger, but that's not hooked up to nothing. Look, the machine's even off in the background. There's nothing's hooked up here. Like, I doubt the hose for her oxygen's even hooked up to anything. I'm trying to look at her right hand here. Like, I almost wish I could zoom in. But it looks like just everything's kind of taped down there. Like,
I was hit. I felt it's like a splatter. Yeah. I was like, oh, maybe someone threw their drink, or maybe someone's just being silly. I don't.
And that was blood that you felt.
Yes.
Blood. How soon after that did you realize you'd been shot?
Started running towards the back, and I realized I couldn't breathe.
Bleeding and fighting for air, Babbitt continued running alongside her friend, Joseph Ostunio.
We made our way to a fence because the other exits were too full, and there were people on the other side helping people get over, and someone caught me, and I was so scared, and they gave me the biggest hug, and they told me everything's gonna be okay.
Babbitt was rushed by ambulance to University Medical Center with broken ribs and a collapsed lung. Now in her third year of law school at the University of Florida, she had one question for the doctor.
And I kept asking her, am I going to be okay? All I want to do is graduate law school. When she told me the bullet was in my spine, or close to it, then my second question was, am I going to be paralyzed? Am I going to be able to walk again? And she told me, when I woke up after they put the tube in my chest, you're going to graduate, and you're going to be able to run a marathon. You're going to run again.
I see you still have the wristband on.
Yeah, I haven't cut it off yet. I don't know if I should or not.
Babbitt says surviving Sunday's shooting has renewed her sense of purpose to become a criminal prosecutor after she graduates in May.
As long as there's no more tubes in my chest, I think I'll be able to walk across the stage.
And then you'll be standing in a courtroom as a criminal prosecutor.
That's the plan.
Just think about that. She says that she's going to be released from the hospital once her lung is able to inflate correctly on its own. She also told me that before she got into the ambulance and strangers were trying to help her stop the bleeding, she just kept thinking about trying to grab her phone. She describes kind of the chaos out there. She wanted to grab her phone so she could call her mom back home. Her mom was there inside the room and was also very emotional as she heard her daughter recount exactly what happened at that concert. Bianna.
What a special graduation that will be for Kristen and her family to witness her walk across that stage. And it just reminds you that as the physical scars will heal, the emotional scars will last a lifetime.
How many stories like it?
So many.
Well then, yeah, no, there was nothing hooked up there. Like, that's something with the rest of the hospital ones. There's nothing hooked up. Okay, well, I'm gonna call it good for this video. That was fun. Peace.